I wanted to revisit several frames of Paleolithic artifacts that were found on the surface of several Paleolithic sites that formed part of the shoreline of Pleistocene Lake Manix in the Mojave Desert in Southern California. Now, these are all surface finds, and they're all Paleolithic artifacts. There are no Early Archaic artifacts in this assemblage, and no Archaic artifacts or anything more recent. So these are all Paleolithic surface finds that I was able to find over the years. And they're larger pieces that are basically preforms, knives, scrapers, and other denticulates. So I just wanted to start with this one here. This is a very large preform that I found on the surface in the Calico Hills. And it was anciently broken. You can see the patina is different on the tip end than it is on the base end. So we have, this is patinated white and brown. This is white, brown, and rust colored. And you can see a little bit of what the original flint or chert would have looked like here. And on this side, you can definitely see what this agate, this looks like it would be agate, would have looked like a little bit more originally over 12,000 years ago. So this was probably likely maybe a Clovis preform, because most of the Clovis type points and knives are eared, they're rounded eared like the Colby style. And we'll see one in a little bit that's more refined than this preform. But it's a large one, and found on the surface of the Calico Hills. Now, the ones found on the surface are mainly in situ. These surface artifacts in the Calico Hills are actually where the Paleo-Indians last left them. They haven't moved. If they've moved very little, unless they were on a steep slope, because there isn't much movement out there. There's some wind and there's some rain, but the rain is very rare. And if it's on the tops of the hills or the sloping hills, it's not going to move too much. It's not like being in a riverbed or down in the flatlands where there might be flash flooding going on. This is another big preform. This may have been used as a cutting tool, but looks to me more like a preform, broken in ancient times. This was the side that was face down in the sand, the iron-rich sand that would stain it, that orangish, rust-colored staining, type of patina over thousands of years. And this is probably Clovis in the 12 to 14,000 range, made out of semi-translucent agate. And then we have this real nice knife. This is a great knife. It's real thin. Paleo knife found on the surface. This was face up, and you can see this side was patinated orange face down in the iron-rich sand of the beach shores. These are ancient Pleistocene beach shores that now make up the Calico Hills. As Pleistocene Lake Manix dried up over 12,000, probably 11,000, 12,000 years ago. Or thereabouts, 10,000 years ago. And this is also shouldered and would have been hafted just like that. So you're looking there at the blade edges of the knife. And this knife may have been a little bit longer and maybe resharpened down just a little bit. But very nice paleo knife. This is a nice paleo knife here, made out of that root beer colored flint or agate that you find on the surface sometimes in the Calico Hills. That's a nice color type of stone. And we have this big preform here. Now, this big preform was found on Harvard Hill. And you can see this outrepassé flaking that goes across this preform. And Dr. Michael Gramley did a very good article I'd recommend that can be accessed online on Pleistocene Coalition newsletter entitled Presumed Clovis at Harvard Hill. And that's where this preform was found. And it's a plano convex, you can see. And it's a nice preform. And then we have other knives and preforms here. This is another nice preform right here. And this is also from Harvard Hill. So I presume this to be probably a Clovis preform. Now I'll show you a Clovis Colby type preform that's more refined than this, where they actually started to get to the fluting. But, and you'll see the rounded ears of the more Colby style, more trianguloid blades. This is a real nice petrified wood knife. So this is a translucent petrified wood. Very thin knife, well patinated here on this side, of course. And white patina, orange patina. Just a nice petrified wood, thin knife. This is a very interesting piece here. I found this many, many years ago. And in the Calico Hills, these are all surface finds, has a tang to the base. Kind of a tanged type knife. And it's kind of like a pre-Lake Mojave, almost like a sandia type of knife. And this would have been socketed. This is a type of a socketed type knife. So this could have been an early, from some of the earliest migrations into the Americas, this could have been a socketed type knife that you might find in Siberia. You know, when you're puncturing the skin of a seal, which the Siberian Paleo Indians would have found for food, seals and maybe whales and walrus and different things, you have to have kind of a long blade to get through the blubber to get down to the kill zone, to get down to the blood vessels and arteries. And so I think some of the earliest points are stemmed, and they're that way because they came from Siberia and in the northern environs where seals would have probably been on the main menu. Then we have this interesting type of adze right here. That's a thin adze there, broken in ancient times. It's kind of scoop type shaped with alternating patina. That's kind of a cool adze. This is a real mean looking thing found many, many years ago. Big, heavy industrial duty knife or denticulate. Wow. This is also a very cool piece. This is shouldered. It's a shouldered knife. It was hafted like this. Those are the blade edges there. That's the blade. And it was snapped. They must have been prying something too much pressure and snapped it. It also has kind of a flute coming off the base here. So it's kind of a stemmed, shouldered, fluted base. And made out of real nice material, too. Real colorful material. And then we have this one, was the first artifact I ever found on the surface in the Calico Hills over 40 years ago. It's a handheld knife. It has a bulbous base. It was flaked here and here for ergonomic purposes to hold nicely in the hand. That's the curved blade edge there. That's the other blade edge there. This may be dinosaur bone. It kind of looks like it. And then we have some petrified wood pieces here. This is a nice knife right there, made out of translucent petrified wood. And it broke in ancient times. I found both halves there. Glued them back together. And then this is a kind of an adze made out of. I found that knife and this together. They were at the same workshop on the surface in the Calico Hills. And this is made out of petrified wood as well. Kind of an adze type of tool. Broke in ancient times. This is a real pretty preform here. Real teardrop shaped type preform here. This is very nicely done here. Very nicely done piece. And then we get over here to, want to show you this Colby style type preform with the fluting coming up here the center and the rounded ears. And it broke in ancient times. And that's more of a Colby style Clovis preform. So this is more of a late stage, not early stage preform. And then we have this thrusting spear made out of, or defensive dagger, probably longer at one time, hafted like this, made out of jasper. And then we have this from Rosamond, California, made out of rhyolite. And it's shouldered, kind of a pre-Lake Mojave type of point, mainly percussion flaked, done before the Lake Mojave became more refined with better, more refined pressure flaking. And then this is another mean looking blade, and that's another nice preform. This is fluted from base all the way up to tip. So again, another leaf-shaped, fluted preform. And a lot of the Clovis style type artifacts out there are of the leaf-shaped variety. This was a real nice find that my friend made with that nice knife there. But just wanted to share again some of the surface finds from the Calico Hills Paleolithic site in the Mojave Desert, California.